after the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. The burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
What's good, Washington Commander fans? All right, I got a little treat for y'all today. So, now that OTAs have started, there is some things that I want to look into, want to clarify, and want to get a general understanding about certain aspects. Like when it comes to the Washington Commanders, their defense, the importance of the defense, the important players who play a part of this defense. Now, we all know our defense was like top 3, top 5 last year. And that goes to the contribute of guys like Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Benjamin St. Jude, Kendall Fuller, Ridgeway, James Smith Williams, Ambata, Montez Sweat, Kam Curl, Defoe, the guys that contribute to this defense to make it the way it was, to bring it to where we was, we wasn't good in rushing the passer or getting sacks. We cleaned that up. We had like 28, almost 29, 30 sacks last year as a team. That's damn good. But when we didn't have Kam Curl, our pass defense suffered. We saw it in the beginning of the season and the end of the season. Now, our defense didn't took a step back when Chase wasn't there, because Chase missed the whole season. He came back around the 49ers game, the last few games of the season. But our defense was doing things without him, great things without him. So, if you look at the thumbnail, it's going to read to you Kam Curl, Montez Sweat, who was more valuable. Cam talks to the media, and Rivera had his take. So me personally, I'm going to start with Chase Young first. All right, Chase Young didn't play in almost 2 seasons. Chase Young only averaged a sack and a half in 2 years. Now, granted, yeah, he been hurt, and he came back. Now, when he was drafted, he had a 7-sack season. 7.5, almost 8. But he didn't do much the following season. If you look at his 2020, when he was a rookie in 2020, he had combined 44 tackles, 12 assists, 7.5 sacks, no interceptions. So now Ron Rivera declined his 5th-year option, and he wants Chase Young to prove himself. And he said it. Ron Rivera literally said that, hey, Chase knows where they stand. Chase knows the importance. Because if you look at it, the same thing with Deron Payne and Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin didn't came to volunteer workouts. But I do believe he came to mandatory, but he didn't do anything until he got his deal. And I think they got Terry McLaurin's deal done in July. I think it was like a year ago. But same thing with Deron Payne. He came, he did anything, but he just stood, you know, he stood on the sideline, you know, and when the time came, he stepped up. He led the team in sacks this year. He was a beast, and he got paid. He didn't. Everybody thought he was going to get traded and all of that stuff. But even with Montez Sweat, he definitely was. He missed some voluntary workouts, but he came and played. Hell, Montez had a hell of a year last year. He's looking for a new contract. Now, we know voluntary workout OTAs is going to come up soon, and we're going to see who's going to be there. Will Chase be there? Will Montez? And Charles Leno. I think Charles Leno could be replaced. I think Montez is going to be there. I think he's going to get signed because this is really his contract year. Next year, going into there, if we don't pick up Chase 5th year, then he's a free agent. But with so many trade rumors surrounding Chase Young, it's hard to fathom that if Chase does not come to mandatory workouts, that's going to be a bad sign. Now, him and Charles Leno are captains of this team. They are captains of this team. Now, I want to compare Chase Young's stat to Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan, played with the Detroit Lions. Now, there's been trade rumors about trading for Chase Young to pair with Hayden Richardson. Now, Hayden Richardson is a single one-man army by himself with the Detroit Lions. The brother had 9.5 sacks last year, almost 10 in his rookie season, 2022. He's a beast. You know what I'm saying? He's a beast. Now, I think he had a better rookie season. Now, I do believe what Chase Young did win Rookie of the Year. He did win Rookie of the Year. But the numbers is different. If I pull up Aiden Hutchinson's stat from last year, he had 3 interceptions, 9.5 sacks, 18 assists, 52 combined. His stats are way better than Aiden. His stats is way better than Chase Young's, and that's his first year. So me personally, if Aiden Hutchinson comes out and have a better year, and knowing that he doesn't really have a significant number 2 on the other side of him, and he put up guarding numbers like this again, and Chase does not put these numbers up because this is a contract year for both of them. I mean, not for both of them, but it's going to set the market because say that Detroit decides to lock up Aiden Hutchinson after this year, if he put up this kind of numbers again, and they lock him up, the number is going to reflect how Chase is going to get paid. He ain't going to get paid more than Aiden Hutchinson if Aiden Hutchinson put up this kind of number, because Chase is going to have to match that. He's going to have a dominant season. He's going to have like forced fumbles. He's going to have like some kind of deflections for interception, like almost 10 sacks this year. That's the kind of numbers that he's facing. He's going to have more than just 40 tackles. He's going to have close to 50. You know what I'm saying? Chase going to have to be like a one-man wrecking crew next year. He's going to have to outshine Montez Sweat. And with the defense that we have, and it's hard to gauge on one person, this should benefit Chase the most. Aaron Donald for the Rams is a one-man wrecking crew. Myles Garrett, you know what I'm saying? Even though they had Jakevian Clowney on it, but Myles Garrett was still the man. Kayvon Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? Even though Michael Parsons played linebacker, but look what he's doing. Chase, to me, he needs to understand the significance of being at training camp, OTAs. Whether you think it's not, whether it's dealing with a contract. Now, yeah, people get hurt. But even if you dare show up and do some kind of drills, just watch watch the guys on the film, learn something. Show Ron Rivera that, hey, I'm serious. I'm here, but I'm not going to participate. At least he knows what's going on with him. I think Montez thinking too much of himself. I think in some ways is a little selfish. Now, if he comes back and he plays and he balls out this year, then fine, it's all good. But if you don't show up for mandatory, and then guess what's going to happen? It's going to show another stain on yourself as a player, and just going to be looking at you in a situation. Now, like a report says, with Chase, Montez, and Leno, Chase's situation is a bit different from them because he only had a 1.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons. Of course, yeah, he missed 22 of 34 games with the devastating knee injury. Young has had his 5th decline. There's a lot on the line for him. It's a lot. Because guess what? If he does not come out and play like he's supposed to, then there's no way that Ron Rivera is going to pay him top money. Now, he'll get a decent contract. But if what I'm trying to tell y'all guys, they're going to compare him to Aiden Hutchinson. They're going to be compared to each other this year. Aiden Hutchinson going in his 2nd year. Chase going into what? He's going into almost his 4th year with the team. So you look at this. If there's some significant point of all of this with with Chase Young, and he doesn't perform, we can't get mad because guess what? Washington just drafted KJ Henry out of Clemson in the later rounds of this draft this year. And if KJ Henry plays, and especially in training camp, and start showing some promise or start looking like a problem, like when I say a problem, I mean a problem for opposing defenses, where he might outshine Chase, then Ron Rivera don't gonna look at it and say, well, hey, if this guy's playing this way, just remember they still got James Smith-Williams there. And if KJ is going to be just explosive, faster, and well-defined than Chase Young, then you got a rookie on your contract that you don't have to pay for another 4 years. You could easily supplement Chase Young by getting rid of him because you already have your answer, his replacement. So for me, if I was Chase Young, I'll be looking at this. I'll be like, I need to get there. Even if I don't practice, let me show my teammates that I'm willing to be there. Because guess what? Kam Curl is one of the leaders on the team, and Kam Curl is there. And he's the starting strong safety of this team. So he's there, even though he's not participating, but he wants to be there with his teammates. That's what he said. I want to be here with my teammates. We haven't heard from Chase Young yet. I'm not worried about Montez because guess what? I know what Montez brings on the field. I know what he's done for the last couple of seasons. Chase, not so much. And I know a lot of people love Chase Young. I like Chase Young too. But we got to stop defending certain players and just call it what it is. Because, like I said, if Chase comes in and he balls out, have a great preseason, or he's not holding out for a contract or whatever the case may be, then, and he put up some numbers, like I said, he's going to have to prove that he's that number 2 pick. They're going to compare him and Aiden Hutchinson all year long. And that's just the fact of the matter is. There's no way around it. One from Ohio State, the other one from Michigan. And like I said, if Aiden Hutchinson comes out and ball for Detroit this year, there ain't no way that Chase going to have to look at it and say, oh, well, I'm going to have to keep up with his stats because this guy's balling out. You're going to have to come out and play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, he was defensive rookie of the year. He's skipping workouts. You know what I'm saying? The report for Ashburn for the mandatory portion of the offseason. So if remembering that that and coming off a decline option, Ron Rivera was clearly going to be irritated this time around. Yes, you got to think. If Ron Rivera thinking and say, well, look, yeah, you know the reason why we declined it, but you decide not to come to voluntary workouts because of this. So you look at it again. Ron Rivera did spoke to the media Wednesday and showed no emotion when asked about these three players skipping OTAs. You always want to have all of your guys there, but again, it's voluntary, Ron Rivera say. We understand that, and the nice thing though is I've been in contact with them. They're working out, they're progressing, getting themselves ready to go. When it all comes down to it, we'll see them when they have to be here. You know what I'm saying? That's the right answer. That's the right answer. And that's what the answer Ron Rivera is going to get to the media. But you got to look at it. Kam Curl's up for a contract too. And he's there. He's there. So what makes you think, what's any different for Montez and Chase not being there and Kam Curl's there? Now, if you ask me who's more valuable, I'm going to have to be honest with you. It's Kam Curl. Kam Curl is more valuable than Chase Young right now. Because you know why? Because we have a lot of back ends. Our front end, we could easily plug somebody in Chase Young's spot. We showed that last year. And guess what? Our defense was still dogs. When Kam Curl didn't play for our defense last year, we got lit up. We got lit up. The first 3 games of the season, we got lit up when Kam wasn't back there. The last 3 games of the season, we got lit up. Kam wasn't there. But guess what? When Kam was on the field, our defense is ridiculous. Case in point, the Philadelphia game that Monday night, what we did. Games that Kam played, what we did. So, me personally, I feel like we have that. If anybody that needs to be signed is going to be Montez and Kam. That's just going what it is. Now, granted, with new ownership coming in, they can't sign nobody. You know what I'm saying? They can't do anything right now. Now, can they sign once the new ownership is placed in the coming months? They could go ahead and extend contracts to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Chase come in and prove that he's worth it. You know, he wants to be here because new ownership looking at this. This is what new ownership is looking at, saying, well, hey, this guy is not here. You know, he's been injured, but he should be here doing some kind of walkthrough or paying attention, taking notes of the defense or whatever the case may be. They're looking at this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is that Chase got to understand that at the end of the day, if new ownership comes in and say, hey, I don't want this guy on my team. He's not a team player. I understand he has a contract. He should have been here. Let's look for a trade partner. Guess what Ron Rivera going to have to do? Find a trade partner to get with him. Now, if anybody want to give up their 2024 drafts for Chase Young, then hey, that's what it is. But if Josh Harris don't come in and say, hey, let's pay Montez, let's pay Kam Curl, you know what I'm saying? They look at their numbers. Hey, they did a great job last year. You know what I'm saying? Kam Curl is setting the example that I'm looking for. Regardless of what your contract is, yeah, you might talk to Ron Rivera and say, hey, we working out or whatever the case may be. Ron Rivera wanted to speed Chase up last year. Chase, hold out. He didn't even look that good when he first came back. For somebody that ain't played in almost 2 years, should be like, hey, I want to be out here. It's not like not Jonathan Allen or Deron Payne. If they was like, hey, I'm injured, and they're working their way back. Hell, Logan Thomas was injured and working his way back last year. You know what I'm saying? Brian Robinson was shot, came and worked his way back. So why Chase Young can't put this through his head? You ain't above the team. I don't care what kind of great talent you are, you're not above the team. If you're worrying about your money, then go out there and show Ron Rivera that you want to be a part of this and you're going to do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? You know, all these little mini camps or these little things that they've been having and he was showing there, whatever the case would be. I get it. You don't want to be out there because you don't want to get injured and you're playing for a contract. That's all fine and good. Nobody asking you to do it there. But when mandatory camp comes and you're not there, I'm going to have a problem with it. I'm going to have a problem with it. Because if everybody else could be there and you're not there, it's an issue. Ron Rivera said he has spoke to Young and exchanged text messages with him specifically since the team declined his 2024 player option. Rivera believes Young has the right mindset and will report to the team ready to go. He also noted how Young and Sweat were with the team at the start of off-season program. Granted, they was with them on their off-season program. You know what I'm saying? Because there wasn't nothing to be done. From what I've gotten in our text messages and conversation, just, hey, he gets it. Ron Rivera said he understands and he's going to go out, and I really believe he's going to come in and give us everything he's got. The optics aren't great on Young's skipping OTAs. It isn't. This isn't just about impressing and the current coaching staff. There will be a new ownership soon. Even if this is about injury, Young and the others could be there with their teammates, like Kam Curl, exactly, like Deron Payne did last year. That's what I just said early on. Kam Curl is there. Deron Payne was there last year, and look how it worked out for Deron Payne. Look how it looked. Look what President sense. While Payne and Young situations aren't identically different, they are similar. The team essentially told Payne to prove itself. He went out and did. And guess what? He led the team in sacks. You know what I'm saying? He got his money. You know what I'm saying? He got his money. The market called for what he made. He got his money. And despite all the trade talk that was surrounding around Deron Payne at that time, he got his money. Washington could have had Young under control for 2024, but felt there was too many risks, naming the injury. Exactly. And this is where the Chase need to be thinking, say, well, hey, you know what? I've been injured. I need to come back and show that I'm ready to go. But what you going to do? You're going to work yourself to a trade partner that ain't playing good, or they're going to get rid of you. And like I said, Chase should be realizing that KJ Henry is there. He ain't there by accident. He's there for a reason. And if the longer Chase holds out and KJ Henry has the opportunity to shine and gets what Jack the Real and Doom doing on defense, it's going to make it even harder for Chase Young to come in, because then you got to have to outwork a guy that's drafted in the later rounds of you. Then you're going to have to worry about a guy that's in his second year with Detroit that's looking for a payday soon when his contract comes up, and you still got to compete for numbers. To me, it's a bad look altogether. You cannot sit here and be saying, you know what, Chase gonna be on fire this year. He gonna come and prove everybody wrong. Well, me personally, until that happens, then it happens. But by Chase doing the things that he's doing right now, it doesn't bode well for him. The odds are stacked against Chase Young right now, whether he like it or not. We can sit here and say, well, you know what, Chase Young, you know, he's a generation talent and all that. Man, get out of here with all of that. Generation talents get traded all the time and they get cut all the time. Not so much, but when the time comes, if they don't produce. Look at Jadeveon Clowney. Got drafted by Houston, then got traded around teams like crazy. Remember Julius Peppers? Julius Peppers was that guy in Carolina. Until later in his years, he started getting injured and stuff, and they started shopping him around. He was a good, he gave what he gave. I don't see that in Chase Young. I don't see the Julius Peppers in Chase Young. This is what Chase Young should come out there. He worrying about giving all these quarterback praises and want to play against these quarterback stuff. But you need to come in with that dog mentality. Like, hey, I'm here to wreck shop. I want to be the best defensive end that ever played the game. Despite my injury, I could come back from this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't Adrian Peterson to come back from the knee injury, but still, this is the kind of mindset you have. If Kam Curl could do that, Deron Payne could do that, Terry McLaurin could come and do that, damn sure Chase Young could do that. I don't want to hear no excuses for Chase Young. I just don't want to hear none. I don't want to hear no excuses for Chase Young at this point until I see him come on the field and work. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, therefore, will Young respond similarly? Who knows? He sure has the ability to do so. Like I say, he has the ability. Rivera explains the difference between Young and Sweat missing OTAs in 2023 versus 2021. I'm not as concerned just about these guys are a little bit older, a little bit more veteran, the coach said. And that's where you got to look at it. They're a little bit older and they a little bit more of have to be seasoned. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to move on from Chase to Kam Curl because I want to show the difference. Now, when Kam Curl missed the first 2 games of the 2020 season, the defense particularly in the secondary struggled. Now, when he returned in game 3, everything settled down. They didn't go unnoticed, but Washington's coaching staff and Curl's teammates. Curl also missed the final 3 games of last year, and the Commanders struggled badly in losses in weeks 16 and 17. And that was to the 49ers and the Cleveland Browns at the time. And you saw him against the 49ers with him not being on there. They went to that side. They used Kittles a lot. And, you know, they got over the top. There's a lot of talk about contract status and defensive ends, Montana and Chase, but both are free agents at the end of the season. After the Commanders declined Chase option, but it is Curl who is perhaps the most important free agent of 2024. That's what and I kept saying, this is why I feel like Montez will get his deal. I think Montez will get that deal. But I do believe Curl gonna get his deal also. Chase is gonna be waiting and see. He's gonna be the wait and see guy. Because they still could pick up his 5th-year option before the end of the season. Before the season, sometime this season. If they see enough for him to say, okay, yeah, let's pick it up. And then they could work out a contract extension with him next year. You know what I'm saying? They still could work it out. Despite no new contract for Kam Curl, Kam reported to OTAs this week. Unlike Young and Sweat, yes, it's voluntary, but Curl also has a lot to lose. Being a leader, he felt it was essential to be with his teammates, even if only participating in individual drills so far this week. And why Chase Young can't be there. I'm not worried about Montez. So to be honest with you, I'm not worried about him because Montez proved himself on the field. Yeah, he's a little bit older. He might need a little bit more time. But guess what? Montez comes to play. Chase, he should be in there. He's the freshest one. He didn't play a whole season last year. He didn't play a whole season the following year. So therefore, you more fresh. There ain't no, because you older, you going to risk anything. You should be out there participating. You are captain of the team. So why are you not there? So like Kam Curl said, he said, nah, you know, I'm just coming out to be with my guys. When asked about the contract situation, I like being with my team. That's why I'm here. The answer is why head coach Rivera and Jack Rivera praises Kam Curl's leadership. Terry McLaurin, the same thing on the offense. They praise him because of his leadership or what he means, his character. This is why I think Ron Rivera has a problem with Chase Young, because Chase Young's character, his leadership. If he comes in, if he's not there, To me, I will want to show my coach that, hey, I want to be there. I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And you got your other teammates setting an example that they have a contract situation is there and you not there. Come on, man, that's not cool. It's not what Washington does want. Like I said, it's not that they don't want to extend Curl, but due to ownership situation, they can't make any significant moves. Something Ron Rivera alluded to. For the most part, everything is on hold. Ron Rivera said, we will let the process as far as the ownership pieces continue to unfold and development. I know about as much as you guys do as the process goes. We continue to do what we do best, and that's football business, as we can. Once the ownership situation is resolved, don't be surprised if the team is on the line with Kam Curl's representative. And that's what I'm telling you. Once this ownership takes place, you're going to see Kam Curl and Montez Sweat get signed. They will get signed for this team. I'm not worried about these two. I think they won't pick up Chase contract. They probably won't pick up Chase contract until sometime this season or mid-season, because they want to see how much Chase Young proves. They know what they got with Montez, and they know what they got with Kam Curl. So that's why it's really no fuss about that. I'm not worried about Charles Leno because we could easily replace him. I mean, he plays good here and there, but he was a bust in pass protection last year. You know what I'm saying? He got his behind chewed up in pass protection last year. Run protection, he's decent. He's good. But pass protection, he's trash. So let me know what you think. Tell me who you think more valuable on this Washington Commanders defense, Kam Curl or Chase Young. And again, you give me your analysis. You leave a comment down there, and I definitely will respond to it. You know, I just want to hear your thoughts. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Continue to hit the channel up. Still pushing great content here and there. Hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video for you. Until then, y'all be safe. Hail to the Commanders.